Animation is in some serious trouble, and it's up to us to save it. Paramount has recently announced plans which put into risk the whole medium animation, and of all films, Pixar's Elemental might be the one which can fix it. Summer of 2023 has just been an apocalypse for blockbuster film, with bomb after bomb, and I'm not talking about Oppenheimer. Most films made no money at the box office or had such high budgets they didn't make anything back. After the flops of Lightyear and Strange World, alongside a seemingly uninspired story, everyone was expecting Elemental to join that long list of flops. But it's been a sleeper hit, making more than Ant-Man and Indiana Jones, and has made a profit of around $70 million, which really isn't too bad. But at the same time, another animated film is out, which is very interesting for the future of animation. TMNT Mutant Mayhem, although being out for less time and has only made a third of the ticket sales, has gained $30 million more than Elemental.
Hi, this is Editing G. Yeah, what I said is a lie. I forgot to multiply the budget by 2 for the marketing and all that. So, in reality, it's only making $30 million, which is less than Elemental
in profit. Now, this isn't a video about the budgets of modern blockbusters, or animated films in this case. Elemental is the one we need to be rooting for, and the reason is very interesting, but also very worrying. The CEO of Paramount, the studio who owns Mutant Mayhem, Nickelodeon, all that good animation jazz, recently stated in an interview they've chosen to stop making original movies, hoping people just watch them, in lieu of only making franchise films like Mutant Mayhem, or at least for animation. This is very problematic, because you can't have something with nothing. No story, no matter how big it may be now, Avatar, The Last Airbender, SpongeBob, Fast and Furious, or any other franchises owned by Disney, they all started with one original film or one idea. Disney, the juggernaut of animation, the company who made animation into a female medium, they couldn't have existed if they only wanted to make endless sequels of the Three Little Pigs cartoon, which brought them success back in the day. And speaking of Disney, or even DreamWorks, they are making live-action remakes of sequels in their films. How's Paramount any different from them? Yeah, it's very similar, and I do agree. What they're doing, it's very lazy, but there is a small difference. A very small one. Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks, and even Sony, they still make originals. While Frozen gets another sequel, we are still getting Wish. Sony made Mitchell's vs. the Machines in between Spider-Verse 1 and 2. Although lazy sequels or remakes, they suck. They haven't replaced the original, although they do take away time and money for these other projects. Worst thing is, though, about Paramount's plan, is they probably will have success in the near future. We have the Avatar movies coming out soon. We'll probably get another SpongeBob movie or a Loud House film. Those both are probably in the works. And yeah, those probably will do well. But that success can't last forever. Just like how no one watched Indiana Jones now that the 5th film is out, who's going to see the 7th SpongeBob movie? The plan has to fail at some point, and there's no doubting that. But the scary thing, and the thing which worries me, is just when will it fail? Because if Paramount has success with this plan for, say, 10 more years, then other studios may get inspired in that time. It really looks like Pixar is going in this direction, with Inside Out and Toy Story sequels on the way. That would really suck. So, how does Elemental play into all of this? Well, if we remember, Elemental was Pixar's worst opening weekend of all time, making only $30 million, which is very rough for an opening weekend. Now, there were some good reasons for this film to start out so badly, like the non-existing marketing campaign, or faith just lost in Pixar films after Lightyear and a few other not great ones, but instead of taking any measure to get butts in seats, Disney did something just so frustrating, and instead announced sequels mentioned earlier of Toy Story, Frozen, and Zootopia. It almost felt like Disney was hoping Elemental will fail with how they marketed it, and then basically just admitted to it being a failure with these announcements. But that wasn't the last thing we heard of this movie, because slowly something surprising happened. People started talking about Elemental. Because people did like it. People went and watched it. Those $30 million worth of tickets, they liked it. And word of mouth made it so that people did slowly begin to see the movie week after week. And the box office numbers creeping up, and so was the online discussion about the movie. Elemental is just such a great representation of what original animated films should give us. This movie gave us a new, interesting world which was fun and that never overstayed its welcome. It had fun characters who were more than the one-dimensional Romeo and Juliet plot that we all thought the film was going to give us, and it was also surprisingly emotional for me. I really liked the story and it really connected. This is what you can get with original stories and why they are needed. One of the best parts of animation as a medium is the ease that you can world build, and by having every future story take place in a world we have already explored in the past, it takes out some of the excitement and the magic of animation. You can only continue telling a story for so long until there is nothing more to say or do. I have no clue what we're going to do in Toy Story 5 after we already had 2 endings, and now we have our characters living hundreds of miles apart, and I don't want any more of these overmilked franchises. But what can you, the viewer, do about this? Watch Elemental on Disney Plus first, and talk about it. When Elio comes out next year, maybe give it a chance, or at least wait to hear if it's good, then check it out. It is important to remember, you shouldn't just support something because it's a non-franchise film just for what it is. More than anything else, the goal of a film is to tell a great story, and sequels can't do that. Look at Puss and Boots: The Last Wish. We shouldn't go boycott that film. They can't be the only thing you're making, though. No. There is one other big problem with animated movies, and it comes down to the idea of there's just too much of modern society animated films, and I don't mean politics, but I mean locations and ideas and smartphones, and just tech, where the special thing about animation is the freedom of location, being able to do it in these magical worlds and the scope. Yet so many modern films feel trapped in these concrete jungles of just large rectangular backgrounds, which you could just film in real life. Why are you making this animated now? While I think Elemental does a great job at addressing this and mixing it up and mixing the fantasy with the real life, another animated movie called Nimona also does a great job at this and should be a roadmap on how to do this mixed fantasy modern location well. You can check that out in this video. Thanks for watching. I have been Fictional Fanatics. I'll see you in that video, but until then, bye!